Hey YouTube, it's me, it's the man who likes WarINT, dropping a fresh VID for you today. And you know what? We're just a couple days away from Wrestlemania, that's right. It's my Christmas, the biggest day of the year, biggest pay-per-view of the year, and I thought it's time I throw down some predictions as far as the matches and what I think we're going to go see and why we're going to see it the way we are. So, let me pull up my card here. Doot. And I'm not going to do these in any particular order. I'm just going to do it as I see them. Let's see. We'll start off with the Cruiserweight Championship match. Neville versus Austin Aries. Now, let me just say there's a difference between how I think this should go and how it's actually going to go based on my experience in the wrestling business and how they do things like this. In theory, I have no problem with Neville retaining his Cruiserweight Championship, but because they're trying to put Austin Aries over as the fantastic wrestler that he is, I do predict a new Cruiserweight champion in Austin Aries. However, I could see this feud going on for months and several pay-per-views, and honestly some hot potatoing back and forth between the two of them. And in this instance only, this is one time I'm fine with a little hot potato because I like both men. So there's that. The SmackDown Women's Title match. There we go. SmackDown champion Alexa Bliss to defend against all available female superstars. I honestly initially had Becky Lynch going over in this match. However, with the return of Naomi on SmackDown this past week, and the fact that it's her hometown, you can't bet against a hometown hero. So I'm looking for Naomi to recapture the title she had to vacate due to injury. And then I see a feud between her and Alexa, which could go for a while, unless the management is so poor on Alexa Bliss' performance in the ring that they choose someone like Becky to see just how good Naomi actually is. Either way, I'm fine with that. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, this is one where it could go anyway. But if I was booking, since you have gone to the effort of making Braun Strowman the monster that he is on Raw, he needs the win at Mania more than anyone else. That having been said, also the last person he should eliminate should be Sami Zayn. It should come down to those two. They have a history. Sami has a nice story of fighting for Mick Foley and wanting the honor, but as usual, I'm sorry, Sami. Unfortunately, you're not going over on this one either. The monster among men, Braun Strowman, is my pick to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Raw Tag Team Triple Threat. Honestly, I don't see any reason why the club should not retain the titles. I think it's huge for them, and it also, if booked proper, could lead into a angle that I'll talk about at my next video. But yeah, club going over. I think it'll come down to the club versus Sheamus and Cesaro. No disrespect to Big Cass, who I love to death, but Enzo Amore is the reason that tag team will more than likely not be tag team champions anytime in the foreseeable future. I'm sorry, I like Enzo, but he just can't wrestle. I mean, he can be used as a lawn dart by Cass, but that's about it. So that's that. What's next? Oh, it's a ladder match. I didn't know that. That must have been something that's recently added. Okay. Intercontinental Championship, Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. God, I want this match to mean more, because the Intercontinental title is almost legendary. In fact, there was a point in my time as a fan that I looked forward to the Intercontinental title match more than the world title. But unfortunately, with how WWE has booked it recently, both the mid-card titles, if you will, the United States and the Intercontinental title, don't mean anything. So unfortunately, this match means nothing because neither participant has been featured relevantly, and the championship is not put in a place of reverence as it should be. So if you're gonna make me pick one, I like you, Dean, but I think Baron Corbin has really shown his chops lately and could use a run with the title just to see how good he is. This is another one where these two could hot potato back and forth, and at least for a few months, I'd be perfectly fine with it. So there's that. What's next? What do we got next? Oh, Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. Well, they kind of, if you don't know, Jericho is going away to make Fozzy music again shortly after Mania. So that having been said, that makes this easy. And Kevin Owens beats Chris Jericho, pop-up powerbomb. No other way that it should really go. And the reason for that is, given Kevin Owens' popularity, again, if WWE does this right, they can begin to make this title mean something. And how do you do that? Almost every week, what you need to do is put Kevin Owens in a match where he's either fending off a #1 contender for the title or defending the title outright. If you do this consistently, because we know Kevin Owens can produce good matches with just about anybody in the ring, there's no way that this title can't be shot back up to a point where people see that a match is for the US title and go, ooh, I actually have to see what happens here. So there's that. Wow. But I mean, that's easy because Jericho is going away. Sorry, Chris. I really enjoyed this run for you. Next match, the Raw Women's Championship. Bayley and Charlotte and Sasha and Nia. I don't really want to pick a winner in this match because it kind of hurts my soul. But unfortunately, I have to go with Charlotte because they'll want to reestablish her as the queen of the division. I don't know who she's going to beat. Odds are it'll probably be Bayley with a figure 8, unless Nia figures in somehow. But Charlotte's the queen. She's good in ring most nights anyway. But I'm just kind of sick of her being the top woman athlete. Ever since Forbes has said that she's the greatest female athlete of all time in WWE, I have balked and called bullshit every time, and I'll continue to do that. Because I grew up with Trish Stratus and Lita and all the rest, and I think them on their worst day is still 10 times better than Charlotte at her best. But it is what it is. Oh, next match. Oh my goodness. We have Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. Really? Really? Let me say this, to be fair to Shane. Shane will do everything he can to make sure that we remember this match. But AJ's going to go over because he's the wrestler. And really, WWE, could you do nothing better than this? I mean, I would have been fine with a triple threat of Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, but for some reason you didn't want to do that. Maybe you want to push Randy to the moon. Maybe you have plans of putting AJ on a different storyline or a different show, but I really think for the show of shows, especially since AJ did the honorable thing and gave Chris Jericho the win last year, I really think he deserves better than this. Yes, he's going to get a win, but does anyone really care? You're tuning into this match to see what Shane's going to jump off of. That's it. Next match. Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Non-sanctioned, which is code for street fight. So they're probably going to be some weapons. There's going to be some interference. Every part of me wants Seth Rollins to win this. But given Triple H's WrestleMania history and what he did to Sting just a few years ago, I think the game's going to get some help from Samoa Joe. So unless Rollins comes out with an unexpected ally, I don't see any reason why the King of Kings doesn't win at Mania again. But I want to be wrong. Let me say that. I really want to be wrong in that regard. Next match. Oh, this one hurts my soul. John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maryse. This hurts my soul for two reasons. Number one, I don't care about this match in any way, shape, or form. And number two, it hurts me because of what I'm about to say. I have to gird my loins a second. Give me a minute. There we are. The Miz and Maryse should go over John Cena and Nikki Bella. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to throw up. Jesus! Sorry. That's my soul trying to escape. And here's why. Whether I like it or not, for the last several months, The Miz is doing the best work he's done in his whole career. Yes, even better than when he was the champion. Again, every time I compliment this guy and his wife, I feel like I die a little inside, but I'd be lying if I wasn't telling you guys the truth. As a result, and of the fact that Miz is still going to be here, and John's going to go to Hollywood, which he's earned the right to do. I'm not ragging on John for that regard. But the fact that one superstar is still going to be here, and one isn't, I have to give the nod, very reluctantly, to Miz. So, that's why I picked that side. Now, we come to perhaps the most intriguing and yet deflating match on the card. The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Let me get this out of the way right now. I think Roman is going to pin a second loss on Undertaker at Mania. I say that because this is rumored to be Undertaker's final WrestleMania and possibly final appearance ever. Roman is still going to be here, and they want to push Roman to the moon because that's worked so well for him, hasn't it? And while in theory this would work, the fact that Brock ended the streak at WrestleMania 30 now makes Roman beating Undertaker make everybody else go, Roman goes like, yeah, I beat the Undertaker. And we can all be like, and? It's already been done. So it's not going to have the mystique you wanted it to have. It's not going to help Roman's push. I can quote this in any way you want. It's not going to help him the way WWE wants it to, because once the streak was ended, any other mystique of people beating Taker instantly goes out the window. And I'm sorry to say this, because Roman will have a good match with Taker, or as good as he can with a man who has a hurt hip. And he's going to do everything he can. And Taker's going to give us everything he can because we know he will because he's proven it over the years. And it's just not going to matter. And that makes me sad because no one is actually getting a benefit because since Taker's not at his best, Roman being in a ring with him isn't going to give him the rub that it's given to superstars in the past. That's just the hard facts of the reality we live in, folks. I know you're disappointed, so am I. What else do we have here? Oh, yes. Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Look, I love Bray Wyatt to death. I do. I've loved the character since its inception. You can go to almost any video on my channel and hear my glowing review of the Bray Wyatt character and the Wyatt family, which is now no more. Again, but at least they seem to have done it with a more permanent feel to it. That having been said, Randy Orton is Randy Orton. So Randy Orton is going to go over, become your new champion, and we'll see what they do with Bray. Hopefully they don't have him muddle in obscurity because you shouldn't have a guy that was your brand's top champion on SmackDown muddle in obscurity now that he's held the title. And of course, I have saved the best, he said, hopefully for last. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. And there's no reason after the months of short matches. I said it in my last video. This match needs to go 15 minutes minimum. Brock needs to be more than just suplexes, although we will see a crap load of them because that's what Brock does now. And Goldberg needs to be more than just spear and jackhammer and 30-second win. If these things happen, and these guys simply do more than they did at the giant stinker that was WrestleMania 20, there's no reason why this can't be at the very least a passable match. Will it be my favorite on the card? Probably not. Will it be remembered? Probably not. At least not more than the short term. But if they do the things I have outlined just now and in my previous video, you can at least say, okay, they gave us one decent match at Mania between the two of them. And given how low the bar was set at WrestleMania 20, that is really saying something. So, as I understand it, that is the entire card, unless I've missed something, which you can post down in the comments below. How are your predictions for Mania? Who are your choices? You can post them down in the comments below. I'd really like to see how my choice percentage goes throughout the night versus my fellow subscribers out there and fellow wrestling fans. What would you like to see happen in Mania? Who is your prediction for the SmackDown Women's title, since there's a lot more participants that I didn't cover? Is there someone I'm forgetting? Someone you'd like to see have run with the title for a while? Post down in the comments. Really looking forward to you guys' suggestions. If you like this video, click that thumbs up. It's really important. It really helps a lot. If you don't want to miss a video by the Wrestling Ranter, click that subscribe button, and the instant I make a new video, you guys will know the second it goes live. I appreciate you guys so much. Welcome to the new people who subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. We're gaining momentum little by little. Ranter's going to get off the soapbox. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.